Thank you for tuning in. I'm Dr. Victoria J. Hart, and today we'll be speaking on the art of eyes. May we have a word of prayer, please? May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in your sight. And I pray for our listeners that this message touches them in a deep way and that they're blessed tenfold for the time that they are spending to listen to it. Amen. One morning, a young lady was driving along a familiar street that she traveled almost every day to commute to her office in the downtown of a busy city. Usually, she was impatient with the rush hour traffic, anxious to arrive at her office to complete some unfinished task. On this particular morning, however, she felt more relaxed. As the traffic inched its way along the thoroughfare, she looked around at the vibrancy of color and the variety displayed in the dazzling morning sun. Suddenly, off to her left, the young woman noticed a three-story office building of exquisite architecture. Around the top of the neoclassic structure was a beautiful frieze of pastel-colored tile. She exclaimed to her friend, who was a passenger in the car, "Look at that lovely building. When did it get there?" Immediately, the young lady knew this was a silly question. It was obvious the building must have been at that location for quite some time. The friend mumbled a reply, "Well, I think it's been there for quite a while," unquote. The young woman smiled shyly and explained, quote, "I've never noticed it before, and it's so beautiful," unquote. The two friends had a good laugh over the young woman's oversight, but the woman was chagrined to think she had neglected to see something that could have been provided her with such daily joy and pleasure as she passed by daily to go to work. She had been so preoccupied with thinking about where she was going that she had failed to enjoy the process of getting there. All of us are in the process of living different realities and experiences. The reality we see is often a matter of personal perception as much as objective fact. Basically, we find that what we look for, good or evil, problems or solutions. If people look for the bad or the evil in the world around them, in their leaders, in their neighbors, in their personal situations, they will surely find that bad, and this can have destructive consequences. Dreams are not built on cynicism. Optimism begets achievement. If people look for the good, they will find it. In countless ways, looking for the good will have constructive consequences. Enthusiasm breeds effort and success. Where are we placing our attention? Do we look toward the evil, or can we diligently focus on the idea of good in all? Are we caught up in the problems, or do we seek to be part of the solution? Are we focusing on external appearances, or do we take time to look more deeply into a situation? Simply noticing our own behavior can bring us to a greater awareness. When we observe our actions as objective spectators, can we allow ourselves to see the patterns we may be repeating? With every plan, we have an opportunity to look within ourselves, quote, "What is my noble purpose? How can I improve my outlook to achieve my goals?" unquote. Quote, "I know I'm not seeing things as they are. I'm seeing things as I am," unquote, said singer Laurel Lee. And truly, our interpretations of events tell us as much about ourselves as about those we are describing. So how do we see ourselves? Do we express a happy, positive acceptance of the good we now have? Do we focus on things that bring us joy, enthusiasm, creativity, and progress? How do our attitudes influence the day's event? What do we look for when we meet new people or find ourselves in any type of different situation or experiences? Are we always looking to fault find? Can we search for the silver linings in the darkest clouds because we are committed to a way of thinking that invites growth? How do we express our thoughts and feelings in various situations? Are we always just picking and looking for something to just complain about? When are some appropriate times to release preconceptions and allow receptivity to new ideas? Does unlimited love reflect its beauty through our being? Is it utopian to imagine we can have open and honest relationships with family, friends, associates, and the community at large? What are we looking for? What a difference the focus of our attention can make in our lives. As we progress on our spiritual journey, we may be likened to the butterfly seeking to break out of its own chrysalis. The various layers of our identities form a cocoon over the self that we are creating. The multiple steps and improvements of our journey represent the process of changing from a caterpillar to a butterfly, from a sleep to awakening soul. Have you noticed that the butterfly emerges from a cocoon a third its size? And remember, the cocoon is of the caterpillar's own making to provide a place of protection during its transformation into the butterfly. What do you think the butterfly must experience as it presses against the structure of the cocoon in its efforts to grow and be free? In closing, if people look for the good, they will find it. In countless ways, this can have constructive consequences. If we look for the good, it is present in abundance to be seen and appreciated. What a thought. I'm just thankful to share such a wonderful message today. I appreciate the spirit that flows through me. I'm thankful for the studies that from the Bible, the wisdom of world religions, A Course in Miracles, many contribute to this message. I also want to just thank you for your time to listen, and I pray that this message blessed you in some way. Thank you again for listening. I look forward to the next time you tune in or seeing you at a seminar or an event. Have a very divine day.